Wow, so Georgia gets dismantled by Georgia Southern 12-2. The Dawgs with 16 hits. Um that's a really good effort in game for Georgia Southern. That Eagles, that win will go a long way for Georgia Southern. For Georgia, it's one of those losses where it won't hurt right now, but it might later in the season. If if Georgia's trying to get into the World Series or something, and they're looking at the scheduling, and they look at Georgia losing to Georgia Southern, not even really the fact you lost to Georgia Southern, but you lost 12-2. They could look at that and say, well, they lost to Georgia Southern. Why should we put them in? Almost like the case of 2021. Georgia lost to Georgia Southern, Georgia lost to Georgia Tech, and then, in my opinion, what really ended Georgia's World Series hope was the loss to Auburn. But still, Georgia just didn't even look motivated today. I mean that with all joking aside, they didn't even look motivated to play today. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Georgia Southern very motivated. The best two plays of the game were the robbed home runs. Georgia should have had two or three home runs, and Georgia Southern player robbed them twice. But yeah, man, that's a hard loss for the Diamond Dogs, and it don't even get any better for Georgia. We got to go play Vanderbilt in Nashville. 2021, Georgia went to Nashville and they absolutely smoked Vanderbilt 2 games, or 1 game. I think they won 1 game like 14-2 or something like that. But for Georgia Southern, a really great win. After coming off that loss to Southern Mississippi, you kind of would have thought Georgia Southern would have been, and Georgia Southern was short-handed too. I mean, they had 1 or 2 players suspended from that huge fight. I think it was one. That happened to get Southern Mississippi Saturday. The Eagles now they were 13-2. I mean, 13-12. Only 2 losses in conference play. People are overreacted, man. Rodney Hennon is one of the best coaches in college baseball, and I will live with that for the rest of my life. I will say that. Even if he never wins the World Series, he might be one of the greatest coaches to ever win the World Series. To never win the World Series, that will be Scott Strickland and Rodney Hennon. So, Georgia and Georgia Southern both have great coaches. Today was just Georgia was in a slump and they couldn't get out of it. So, 12-2 is your final score. The Eagles beat the Dogs. Let's go Dogs. Let's go Eagles. Let's go Diamond Dogs, Deagles, whatever you want to say. Yeah, man, that was a domination of a game.